Okay, what I got here is a piece of staff paper. You notice it's just 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 5 lines, 4 spaces. Reading this way, bottom to top. Line 1 is at the bottom. Line 5 is at the top. Space 1 is at the bottom. Space 4 is at the top. So if I ever ask you the definition of a musical staff, S-T-A-F-F, the musical definition is 5 lines, 4 spaces. And you always read from the bottom to the top, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on reading notes in the right hand. So I'm going to show you real quick how to draw what we call the treble clef, okay? This is what we call the treble clef. Draw a straight line down like this, okay? Make like a D right to the middle line, the third line. Bring it around to the other side. And you wrap it around that line right there, the second line, which is the line G, okay? And then if you want, you can even put like a little dot right there at the bottom. Therefore, it's also called the G clef because it wraps around the G line. Now, sometimes when I go to do it, I just do it simply like this, straight line down, just like that. You want to try to get that right on the G line right there, the second line, right? That's what we call the treble clef. Now, I need you to start memorizing this. The first line right here in the treble clef is an E. Second line is a G. Third line is a B. Fourth line is a D. Fifth line is an F. E, G, B, D, F. Okay, that means no matter what kind of note you put on those lines, that is the name of the note. So if you decide to put a half note on the E line, that half note is an E. If you decide to put a quarter note on the G line, that quarter note is a G. If you decide to put a whole note, which doesn't have a stem, on the D line, well, that whole note is a D. Okay? Half note looks like a whole note, but it has a stem. Quarter note is filled in. Half note gets 2 beats. Quarter note gets 1 beat. Whole note gets 4 beats. Okay? And we'll review all that again, just make sure you're comfortable with it. So the whole note, no stem, 4 beats. Half note is half of a whole note, so that's 2 beats. And what's half of a half note? Quarter note, right there, 1 beat. Okay? Now, I want you to start to memorize. The first line is E, second line is G, third line is B, fourth line is D, fifth line is F. Okay? So your bottom line is E. Now think of your musical alphabet. It's just like your regular alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But when you get to G, you go right back to A. And so it just keeps going. Okay? And past D, keep going to E, F, G, and all the way. Now, if you are going in the order of the alphabet, that means that the first letter would be like a line note, or it could be a space note, either way. But then after it, if it starts with a space note, if the A is a space note, then the next note after it, the B, has to be a line note. If you're starting with an A that's a line note, then the B after it has to be a space note. Everything has to be line, space, line, space, line, space, line, or space, line, space, line, space, line. That's if you're going in order. So if you're going from an E to the next line up, which is G, well, you notice you're missing a letter in between. What comes between E and G? F. That means the first space right there is F. Just like that. What comes after the G? Go back to A. What comes after B? C. Just like that. And what comes after D? E. And there they are. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. So your lines are E, G, B, D, F. And your spaces are F, A, C, E. They spell the word face. So with the treble clef, which is your right hand, spaces, space spells the word face. And then some people remember E for every, G for good, B for boy, D for does, F fine. Every good boy does fine. Or every good boy deserves fudge. Or every good bird does fly. However you want to do it. I always just try to say, just remember E, G, B, D, F.